Nano KVM. All right. Yeah, we're going to talk about that a bit. Oh, let's see. Oh, I didn't even do that the way I was intending. Okay, I get it. See there, such a Doug. I'm about to get a confirmation of audio. Hear that. And then right here.
DougBot said I'm working here.
Yep, got that too. All right, so I brought this up on my screen, but you weren't seeing it. I thought I was broadcasting this right here at the beginning of the show. No, did not do that. You're not as clever as you think you are, Doug. Ay caramba! And what's that? There's a box on the stool over there. What's that? What's up with that? So the Nano KVM. Yeah, I got a story to tell about that. Spoiler alert. I got it working. I got it working. A little bit of a journey. Hiya, Stormy. And let's see what else I got to say. Well, it's a May 21st, 2025. Long time since I've bothered to tell you the date. Yeah, all right, let's just go to it. The Nano KVM. Oh, I guess I want to, what if I do that over here? Monitor 3. Shall I do that? Yeah, so I got the thing working, but I got a little story to tell. This, if you didn't see the show yesterday, the Nano KVM, I could log into it, but I could never see the screen of the computer was attached to it. It was as if the HDMI cable was defective, or the HDMI port in the KVM was defective. I couldn't get any image through there. Now, during yesterday's show, I had asked Carrie Holzman to, let me know, have I done everything here? Do you see anything that I've missed? Well, after the show was over, I went back and found his video and watched it. And sure enough, I had it all same as what he did. So I sent him an email because I didn't want him to go through the trouble of, finding his video that dealt with that. So I thought I was letting him off the hook, right? He responds, hey, call me. Let's see what we can do. So I called him. So we spent a little time on the phone working it over. We did not get it solved. When I called him, I told him, well, I'm about to do the reset. So the reset thing on it, the firmware, well, there's a reset hole, an access hole. He said, no, don't do that yet. Let's try this and that and the other thing. And we did a swap of a cable because there was one cable that he recommended that I order. The 8K HDMI cable, I think it is. Yeah, thin HDMI 8K cable. And I had to look around. I said, yeah, I ordered that. And well, it was still in the package. So we were hopeful, well, maybe that's it. So we tried various different renditions of gyrations of what to connect when and what to power on when, and basically did not get to it. So while we were on the phone, I tried the reset. Now let me show you about that reset. We'll come over here to this. I'm going to grab my other microphone. Yeah, I'm not going to be over there very long for those of you who don't like this microphone. Let's see, turn that one off. Turn this one on. Now come over here. Because I'm just going to show you this reset is right there. And there's nothing in there. There's nothing to press on. I've done lots of, well, not lots, but I've done some resets, and you feel a button in there and you press on it and you can feel it click. There's nothing there. It's just nada, no. So that was a total bust. So then I said, just return it. I told him, I said to Gary Holzman, there was some random YouTuber I saw recently that said, when you buy something from Amazon, it's not working, don't try to fix it, just return it. Just return it. So I told him I was going to take that advice. For those who don't know, he was that random YouTuber. He said, no, don't do that. I don't know if he pitched it or I pitched it about me sending it to him. I said, I can just order another one. I've got 30 days to return this one, right? I just order another one. If it works, then I'll just return this one. Or maybe they won't even want it returned because this one actually has a shipping charge with it. It wasn't free shipping from Amazon. So I said, okay, well, I'm all right with sending it to you. And I said, no, I'm not going to take it apart. I'm not going to take it apart. And then after we hung up, this thing still wasn't working. I thought to myself, shipping. And box it up, do the address thing, take it somewhere to ship it. It's only 4 screws on the top and 4 screws on the bottom. How stupid and silly am I going to feel if I ship it to him? Please. He opens it up on camera, finds some simple fix inside of it. Can my technician's ego survive that? Give me a 0 in chat if you think, no, I can't survive that. Give me a 1 in chat if you think I can survive that. 0, no, I can't survive that humiliation. 1, yeah, I can survive. Doug can survive that. John says, yeah, gives me a 1. Doug can survive that. Bunch of people saying, yes, I could survive that. You don't think my technician's ego is strong enough that I would not survive that. A 0 would mean, no, I don't want to send it to him without ever trying to open it myself. Yeah, Scott. See, I kind of gave more of a clue there. When I really got into detail, finally someone says, which Doug you... The technician ego, Doug. Were you not listening? I said, does the technician ego, Doug? Yeah, that's the Doug you're talking about. Can he survive the humiliation of having Carrie Holzman open it during a live stream and find some simple fix? No, I gave in. So I'm gonna bring this over here. I have video. Remember I told you at the beginning that I've got it fixed. So now, do you think opening it fixed it somehow? Maybe just the trauma of opening the device and putting it back together was enough. And I thought, that can't be a loose wire. Those components are going to be soldered directly to the logic board. That was a question Josh Kinder asked me. What's a logic board? Well, it's basically a motherboard of anything that's not a Windows computer. Ran Israel's guessing no. Regarding what? That I couldn't survive the humiliation, or that it wouldn't be a simple just opening it and closing it was enough trauma? Yeah, I don't know what he was referring to there. Brian says if you open it, you might let the smoke out, let the genie out. So here, see, this is a video, and I was showing you just, I've got a place here way out here in this video. I'm not going to play the whole video because it's like 27 minutes long, but I'm going to drag all the way back to here. Now this is, I'm just showing you a preview window from Adobe Premiere. Let's go full screen video. Now, do I get the, oh, I don't get the control bar. All right. Yeah, I can't slide it forward. All right, I'm gonna take it apart. I have, oh, that's leveler mic. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna mute that and I'll just narrate if I wonder if I know how to mute it. And I don't. Oh, I know. I'll just turn off that audio input there. Now I'm going to hear it, but you won't. Except I'm actually going to drag through. So here's Doug on caffeine. 4 screws on the top, 4 screws on the bottom. And then I'm looking at it here and see that there's nothing on this side that prevents pushing this part out. And on the other side, here's the buttons. So the whole innards can't come out this direction. So it's got to go out the other direction. And there's a screen, the LED screen there, or whatever you call that kind of screen. It's kind of a little bit loose there. I felt, oh, that's kind of hazardous, kind of fragile, might be a problem. And so then I use a screwdriver to kind of push it, coax it through. And there's the HDMI port. Yeah, there's no wires involved. Couple Type-C ports. And then there's that, the screen's kind of flopping around, flapping in the wind. Now there's a place somewhere up, yeah, around here. I'm looking for that reset button. How the place where the reset button should be is right in this area here. I'm going to try with turning the audio on here. I don't think you are hearing that. How come I don't have... I don't think you're hearing that. I'm not seeing that audio output. So anyway, I'll just go. Yeah, so anyway, I'm finding where that button is. You can see that reset button right here. It's positioned the wrong way. Like, what? That never occurred to me that it might have, well, there was a very, very vague slight idea that it might be positioned different, but I didn't even try. So there's the reset button. Gee, do you think that solved it? Yeah, here I'm demonstrating it. Let's see. Why do I not have the audio for that? It's supposed to be... Oh, I know why. Here, okay. Here, I'm going to try it again. I think you'll have the audio now. A round button right there. Like if I push down on it. Yes, it is a switch. You can hear it click. Okay, so I could hear it click. So now I know what it is. Then there's another piece I want to show you here. The instructions. They say to use the QR code to get to the instruction manual. And this is the QR code right here. I did come across a QR code somewhere else, but it got me to their website. This QR code, my cell phone will not recognize that as a QR code. Just no, too tiny. Jeez. So teeny tiny. And what else do I want to show up here? Here I'm actually, let's see, what is this? Yeah, I'm actually connected please. At this point. Martin Hogg says, please see my question. I'm going to scroll up and see if it's on this topic. I'm scrolling up in OBS. There it is. Okay, yeah, I'll get to that. I do have input for you on that. Let me finish with this. So I got connected here. So I have the KVM connected, and then I connected a second HDMI port to a physical monitor. And that monitor right now is showing an extended display. I'll come in here and change, instead of extend, I'll duplicate. So I don't need a pass-through device in order to see the monitor locally. Just have a monitor connected to a separate video port, and then that way you've got them both. Now, I don't know if that piece had already been solved or in Carrie's adventures through KVM, but that was one comment that I had, or opinion I had about these, is I wanted to have a pass-through port so that I could connect remotely to it and have a monitor attached to the computer. Well, yesterday it occurred to me, duh, just plug a monitor into one of the other display outputs and configure for duplicate displays. Boom, problem solved. However, the monitor that's attached to the computer is not going to be able to see a BIOS screen or anything, or the startup screens. So if you were to do this at a client's office, for instance, you put one of these KVM switches in, and you want to be able to have access to everything that's happening on the screen during the startup and BIOS, then you're going to plug into that port on the computer and make sure that the other monitor that the client is using is seeing the duplicate. Because as soon as Windows loads, the duplicate will start showing. And they can they always log in on that? For duplicate, yeah. If you have extended, they're not going to see the login prompt. But if you have duplicate, as soon as Windows starts loading, I think that's going to appear on both screens. So I think that solves the problem with not having a pass-through HDMI on these devices, or on this device. Is there anything else I wanted to do in here or point out? I'm going to scrub through. Let's see, I'm putting it back together. And I actually put the wrong screws in. I didn't realize that the screws were different lengths because they're so close. I'm coming back here to show them all. See if I can get, I don't see all the screws out there. See there? This is the long screws and those are shorter. It's not by much, but I put the short screws in the long holes and then first, and then I got to the long screws in the short holes and it wouldn't go down deep enough. Uh-oh, I got different size screws here. Put it all back together. Take a sip of coffee. And then I go back and do all that stuff. I don't think there's anything else out here that I need to show you. I covered the pieces that I cared about. Oh, but I do have something else to come back to, because I also spent time yesterday trying to put bootable image on the storage drive that's contained in here. There's a small storage drive in here, and I wanted to be able to boot to Macro and Reflect recovery media from the ISO file on here. So I found out how to do that. Couldn't get it to work with Macro and Reflect. At the moment, right now, I have a Windows installation media ISO file on here, and I want to see if it's going to boot. And I might do that live during the show today. Got 10 minutes left, and I got to go address Martin's question. Come up here to, I'm going to do Control F, Martin. Doug, I'm trying to do a clean install of Windows 11, but the command OOBE command doesn't work. Do I need to create bootable USB using Rufus or other? You could, but there's an easier way. When you get to the place, well, you already know how to do the Shift F10, because obviously you're trying to do the OOBE and it's not working. So once you're at that DOS prompt, there's a different command that you can do that's even easier than the OOBE. And my quickest way to get to it is this comment that I've been saving from Greg M down here at the bottom. and I will copy that link address and put that into chat. And then I'm going to go show it to you. Whoops, nope, that's too long. I got to do it a different way. Because when you copy from YouTube, it throws in all this extra gobbledygook for tracking purposes. So now if I take this link, copy that, and put that into chat, that should fit. What's that vignette? Oh, let's get rid of that because we don't need that. Now copy that and paste that. Now I'll show you the part in here that you care about, Martin. Scroll down, down, down. The old bypass OOBE is not working, or they're taking it away, and apparently it's already lost. But this command right here, this is all you need. You don't have to read all the other stuff in here. Just this start ms-cxh : local only. I'll copy that, put that into chat. And if you want, you could just copy that. You don't even need to go to that link. Just copy that. Once you get to that command prompt, you do the Shift F10 at that certain point at the installation, do Shift F10, type that command right there, and what's going to do is, bam, it's going to take you straight to a username prompt. It will not restart the computer like the OOBE would do. When you did the OOBE, it would restart the computer, and then you had to go through those initial steps again till you get to the username prompt. But this just takes you straight to creating a username. If you set a password for it, then you're going to have to answer the security questions. If you create the username and don't set a password for it, then you're not going to have to go through those, setting up those 3 security questions. Just go ahead and get in, do your work, set a password later if you want to. Did you get that, Martin? Okay, now, was there another? Seems like there was something else I wanted to do beyond restarting that. And I know there is, but I'll come over here. I'm going to go sign into it. Hopefully I haven't lost my keyboard mouse connection because I've had trouble. I know Carrie was able to reset the mouse thing within the program. That didn't work for me. I've had to use the reset button to get my keyboard and mouse back. And every time I do that, I lose the custom password. So let's come into here. So this is that computer. I'll make it full screen up here with this toggle full screen button. So now we are looking at the computer that I'm connected to through the KVM. You can confirm that because you see the KVM menu up here and you see the mouse following me around. On the E drive, which is the KVM device, I have this ISO file. That's the way this is designed to work. You just copy an ISO file onto this partition on the E drive, which is a Linux partition. Let's see if I show you over here, disk management. Does it show it here? No, it doesn't identify it here as Linux, but when I look at it through Macrim Reflect, it identifies it as a Linux partition. And Macrim Reflect isn't able to do squat diddly buckus with it. And this down here appears to be an update that's waiting to install. I don't want that doing that yet, so I'm going to defer that update by going into Windows Update settings on that remote host computer, and I'm going to say, oh, pause updates is grayed out. It won't let me pause them, probably because it's too far out of date. Is that right? Active hours, notify. Oh, notify when we want to restart. This one is turned off. I'm looking to see if there was an advanced. 'Cause I have 2 hours notify. Oh, notify when we want to restart. This one is turned off. I'm looking to see if there was an advanced. 'Cause I have 2 hours notify. Oh, notify when we want to restart. This one is turned off. I'm looking to see if there was an advanced. 'Cause I have 2 hours notify. Oh, notify when we want to restart. This one is turned off. I'm looking to see if there was an advanced. 'Cause I have 2 hours notify. Oh, notify when we want to restart. This one is turned off. I'm looking to see if there was an advanced. 'Cause I have 2 hours notify. Oh, notify when we want to restart. This one is turned off. I'm looking to see if there was an advanced. 'Cause I have 2 hours notify. Oh, notify when we want to restart. This one is turned off. I'm looking to see if there was an advanced. 'Cause I have 2 hours notify. Oh, notify when we want to restart. This one is turned off. I'm looking to see options place to defer. Won't let me defer that further. All right, I'm going to try this way. Oh, outside of active hours. Okay, I'll just say okay for that. I'll let it do outside of active. And so it's not going to force the restart now on its own, but here I'm going to try shift restart without doing this one for update and restart. I'm just going to do shift restart because I want to see if I can get it to boot into the Windows installation media. I could not get it to boot into the Macrim Reflect rescue media. And there may be something I'm doing wrong about that. I don't know. Now, since I was holding the shift key when I did, now down in the bottom left corner, you can see F7 for boot. But I've tested this a few times. The shift restart has been working plenty well for this. Okay, so let's see. Phil says you probably have to do the restart before you can postpone updates. No, that's normally not true. I have done it many, many times where there's a prompt to restart to install updates, and I've gone in and I have postponed updates, and I've had that. This is the first time it has not worked for me. I've done that many times. But this this computer, it has missed a couple months worth of updates, so it's way beyond the 5-week allowance.
Read chat, please.
So troubleshoot. Let's see. Martin says, thanks. Strangely, when I use Shift F10, command opens, but the keyboard doesn't work. The only way to get active command is to use pair this PC option, repair this PC option on the USB drive. I'm taking a little diversion here to this. Are you using a wireless keyboard? Try plugging in a wired keyboard. I'm going to use Shift F10. So it's not that the OBE is not working, it's that you can't type. Okay, so you misled me. It's OBE is not the problem. It's that your keyboard's not working. That's a problem between the keyboard that you're using and the computer that you're using. If you're using a wireless keyboard, change to a wired keyboard. The only way to get active command is to use the repair this PC option on the USB drive. Okay, yeah, when you're using that, it's probably loading some other drivers. But yeah, I'm hoping you're going to give me a response, Martin. Are you going to give me a response? Is it a wireless keyboard that you were using there, and that you will try this? Are you going to tell me? Are you going to tell me? Are you going to leave me hanging? I'm hanging here, Martin. Give me. It's like.
Read chat, please.
Keyboard is on a laptop. Oh, bingo. Same problem. Plug in a external keyboard. A wireless might work. Plug in an external wired keyboard. What's happening here is that the Windows installation media is not understanding how to interact with that keyboard. That's exactly what happens on Microsoft Surface. And I demonstrated that recently. Yeah, plug in a keyboard. That'll do it. That'll do it. That's exactly what's going on there, because it's a laptop. And then when you plug in the keyboard, the OOBE will work, and the command that I gave you will work. Okay, so here we go. Advanced options. Now this is where I had the keyboard and mouse stop working on my remote connections. So UEFI firmware, and then restart. So this is going to get me in UEFI where I can override the boot drive and boot to the media. So I've already reset this computer to boot to USB device. So I think it'll actually go do that now. But it's not recognizing that device.
Read chat, please.
Yeah, because I think it's because I don't have this turned on up here. So I think my previous experience with this, when I have this arrow pointed down, then the Linux would show up in here, I think it is. Martin said, thanks. Yes, you're welcome, Martin. So I think I need to turn this arrow down. It's not letting me do that. Mount failed. In some system, it's necessary to eject the virtual disk on the remote host before mounting the image. I can do that when I'm in Windows. So it's going to try to boot to the USB device because I have it first, but it's going to fail. Save changes and exit because I forgot to do that piece. Pressing enter for yes, that worked. Clicking on yes did not work. Domain 2000 says, annoying indeed for those laptops needing extra drivers for keyboard touch to work. You would not have that problem if you use the manufacturer's intended method to reset your computer to factory condition. That'll work fine. But if you try to do a fresh install off of generic Windows installation media from Microsoft, that's when you'll run into that problem. Okay, so here I'll come up here to this disk image here, and then click on this once. Mount failed. Oh, eject the virtual disk on the remote host. So if I eject the disk, eject right there, and then I don't want to disconnect the USB cable and reconnect it because that will disconnect the KVM. Then it has to find an IP address again. So let's see if I can go into disk management and mount that. I don't think I can. Oh, here's removable media. Right click. No, I have another environment with external backup drives where I can remount them from here. It doesn't work from here. Is there another way to mount it? Oh, I ejected it, but this is still showing. All right. I'm going to work with that offline because I'm overtime. And I got some other things I needs to go do. Okay, let's go look for orange. I have caught all of the read chats so far. Early 2000s cartoon, that's in reference to the trailer. And Marsman says, no, it was 1961 to 62. And that trailer was by request of somebody or other. Not somebody or other, it was somebody. Because the person who requested it is a somebody. He's not an other. The others, some of my sci-fi books refer to the others as the bad people. John Williams did not watch cartoons when he was very young. I did, much to my dad's disappointment. Got me in trouble on occasion. Notification's supposed to come in 1/2 hour before show start. So what else does he say? Made me chase down to get this broadcast live. Did not come up on my normal YouTube opening page. I had to go to the channel. Well, actually what you could do, Lawn Dog, is when you're on your YouTube, if it's not showing up on your YouTube, come up here to your notifications in the upper right, click on that, and it should show up here in your notifications. If anyone who's got a notification that you have asked for notifications, you should be able to get to it more easily by clicking your notifications icon. The number no longer shows there because the number is cleared off once you display that panel. But you can still go back and see whatever notifications have been offered to you. So that'll save you from having to go hunt for it. Oh, the power button on that KVM device, that is if you have the extra wires connected to the motherboard of the computer, You can press that power button to press the power button of the computer. It's not for powering on the KVM switch. The KVM switch does not have a power button of its own, but the power button and the reset button that you saw physically on it, those are to press remotely the power button of the computer, the reset button of the computer, and you can do that remotely if you have those wires, extra wires connected. These are the extra wires. So you put these pins onto the appropriate pins on the motherboard. These pins are these wires are basically just jumper cables. They're not labeled in any way whatsoever, so you can use them, I presume, to connect to what you want. And then this piece here is also part of that whole deal, but I haven't investigated that. I don't think I'm going to. Doug, you're supposed to be looking for orange. Got Martin's question there. Answered which Doug. Marsman was guessing a loose connection on HDMI. That was on my list. Yeah, I know. I said I'm looking for the orange, and now I'm kind of speed reading everything, aren't I? Yeah, that's the thing. There's an orange. John William, time for a nap. Going to current official 24H2 should still work. Yeah, the only reason his OBE wasn't working it was the keyboard issue, keyboard driver issue, not OBE. I thought that's still working. In a preview edition, the people in the insiders, they've reported that it no longer works. But we don't know if that's going to be the case when it gets released to us. And that's probably not going to happen till what, 25H2? Yeah, we got that. Back when I was a kid, there was only 3 channels. Yeah, 24, 30, 47 for us. And 53 was a local station, but it didn't come in very well. And then channel 53 became a client of mine when I became an adult. Well, has that happened yet? The part about becoming an adult? All right, see here. Go, Ken. Oh yeah, Ken Stout. All right, we got a Ken Stout to talk about here. I said I'm looking for orange, so Ken put me in orange there just to harass me. He didn't have anything after it. He just want to see if I'll actually read his orange comment. But since you did that, Ken, I got a bone to pick with you. I've got a bone to pick with you. Here we go. Ken Stout's show last night. Come here to Ken Stout's channel last night. I'm going to pause this. His title, Tuesday, May 20th, 140 of 2000, day 140 of 2025 days. Are you on a countdown for 2025 days? Yeah, I know, year 20. This is my question. KS JIP, Ken Stout JIP. What is that about? Now, if I go down here to my normal size and I go to ask, what does the content creator mean with the title that says KSGIP? What do those letters mean? Does he explain it? I have to pause for a little bit before I stop talking or disappears. Let's see. Yeah. So there I've got that. And then I click the send or press enter, something like that. Yeah. So here's the AI is going to scan through the audio and the closed captioning and figure out what was going on. I couldn't find any information on the web about a widely recognized YouTube acronym called KSGIP. It seems like it might be a specific term used within a particular community or project. As a video creator doesn't explain, if you're curious about what it means, you could try asking the creator directly in chat. Yeah, when I tried this earlier this morning, it came up with some more speculations. Can you speculate based on the channel what it might mean? Here we go. Ken Stout group Instagram posts. That might be what KSGIP stands for. Or could it be Ken Stout game in progress? Or could it be Ken Stout's great interactive program? Or could it be Ken's simple streaming guide protocol? Where's the I? Streaming Ken's simple, that's the S. 2 S's and a G. Should have been
Read
IP.
chat, please.
Guide IP maybe.
Read chat, please.
I don't know. Does he give it? Does he give it up? Does he give it up? 9:39 my time. 9:39. Did somebody give the answer at 9:39? Mission accomplished. You said orange. Yeah, I told you that's all he was after. No, 9:30. He's not giving it. He's not saying what it meant. Day 140 of 2025 days. Oh man, there it is. Ken Stout group of ignored people. So Brian saying, should we tell him? I think that's a dig at me. I think since it's all about me, everything is in context of how it affects me. I'm not the me in the me generation. I'm a boomer, for those who didn't know. He's roasting me because he has felt ignored. Have I made up for it? How much time and overtime have I spent talking about Ken Stout?
Read chat, please.
Right now. Right now. Is that going to show up in a Ken Stout live trailer? Answer in chat. It was mentioned yesterday as well, as if I remember. I couldn't find it. I rewatched that video and read through the entire transcript and watched all the closed captioning at least 18 times, trying to find out what it meant. I lost sleep. I dreamt about KSIG. What the frick, as my grandson would say, does that mean? Yeah, that was an Alex reference. All right. That was not a chuckle. That was not a chuckle. That was a, let's see, @ Ken Stout Live. That was a laugh out loud from me.
Read chat, please.
500 points. As much as that hurts. What was that last read chat? 943. Oh, I'm in so much trouble here. My boss is going to be so upset for this overtime. Chevy, Ken Stout, yes, points. What? 943. I gave Ken points before I even saw this, but the laugh hadn't actually happened yet, did it? What was that laugh? Oh, it was for that. For those who don't know how that's an Alex reference, that's because you haven't been watching the Ken Stout live show long enough or regularly enough. All right. That's all. I'm out of here. Goodbye. Hasta la vista. Have a great day, everybody. There's no redirect today. Bye.
That's all, folks.
Tune in 6 days a week for Windows support, the help you seek. Send an email, leave a comment, join the chat. Our tech-savvy crew is where it's at. Not just me, but a whole community, helping you solve tech mysteries. With friends who are here almost every day, we love to chat and help you find your way. So subscribe now, be part of the team, for Windows support and more than you dream. Join the fun, don't miss a single stream. At LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts or simply we're tech support supreme. We're tech support supreme. Tune in 6 days a week for Windows support, the help you seek. Send an email, leave a comment, join the chat. Our tech-savvy crew is where it's at. Not just me, but a whole community, helping you solve tech mysteries. With friends who are here almost every day, we love to chat and help you find your way. So subscribe now, be part of the team, for Windows support and more than you've dreamed. Join the fun, don't miss a single stream. At LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts or simply more deeply VB, we're tech support supreme. We're tech support supreme. We're tech support supreme. Tech support supreme. We're tech support supreme. We're tech support supreme. We're tech support supreme.